Hello and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I'm Hawa Salihu Adama. Thanks for joining us. We start with the environment today as the federal government, through the Ecological Fund Office, has flagged off erosion control project in Makun Omi community of the Ogun Waterside local government area as part of efforts at controlling continuous erosion, flooding and other ecological devastations in the area. The Permanent Secretary, Ecological Fund Office, Dr. Habiba Lawal, assured the community of early completion of the project. Let's now join Yemi Dalema for more.
Kumi in Ogun Waterside local government area of Ogun State has suffered cases of erosion and flood menace, which led to loss of lives and property. To reverse the trend, the Ecological Fund Office flagged off the 6.4-kilometer erosion project in the area, which involved construction of drainage system, culverts from Makumi to Ifre, and other affected communities within the local government areas like Atijere.
We are going to do road improvements and drainage works. The internal roads in Emoku, and so we are going to have drainages on both sides of the road.
The intervention, initiated by Senator Lekon Mustafa, representing Ogun East Senatorial District, when completed, will, among other objectives, reduce flood risk to a bare minimum in the affected areas.
This is an area that one can say is disadvantaged in a way. Very close to the Atlantic. And about a year and a half or 2 years ago, there was a very major erosion problem here. That is the genesis of this project.
The team, during a pre-project sensitization and awareness at the Palace of Oshobia of Makumi, Oba Kazim Additional had earlier solicited cooperation and support from the people of the host communities for the contractors handling the project to aid early completion of the project.
I also want to give the glory to federal government of Nigeria that give us this great opportunity, to come and solve our problem in Makumi.
An indigene and retired Deputy Director FRCN, Benga Onoiga, among other community leaders, appreciated the federal government for coming to their rescue by embarking on such capital-intensive projects. Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
And the Federal Roads Maintenance Agency says it will ensure that all the 36,000 kilometers of federal government roads in the country are maintained regularly to ease movement for social and economic growth. The Managing Director of FEMA, Nuruddin Rafindadi, said this while inspecting the ongoing work on the Yola Fufure road rehabilitation in Adamawa State. Simon Asher completes the report.
Men at Work is what greets motorists as the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA, embarked on the rehabilitation of Yola Fufure Road, which did not only constitute nuisance and untold hardship to road users, but also crippled some of the socio-economic activities of the area, considering the poor access route. Respite, however, sufficed, as the road now wears a new look with heavy-duty machines seen doing the needful, a development that puts smiles on the faces of the people who applauded the giant stride of the federal government for looking into their yearnings and aspirations.
It's actually a nice work we are seeing, something we've craved for.
For long we have been hearing it, and now it have come to a reality.
The Managing Director, Federal Road Maintenance Agency, Engineer Nuruddin Rafindadi, while inspecting the ongoing exercise, expressed satisfaction with the level of work and assured the agency's determination to maintain the nation's highways according to standard.
We have over 36,000 kilometers of federal roads, and most of them are not in good condition. Most of the time we are faced with a situation like a few drops in the sea of bad conditions of road. But we are not deterred. We use the resources we have to do what we can do, and no matter how long it takes, if a road is bad, we get to it.
The managing director also used his visit to condole with the family of late Ahmed Joda, who died recently. In Yola, Simon Asher, NTA News.
Now to the COVID-19 update. The rate of COVID-19 infection remains high, with 388 new cases recorded in the last 24 hours. In the latest figures released by the NCDC, Lagos State maintains the lead with 166 new cases, followed by Akwa Ibom with 89, Rivers 76, Oyo 15, Edo 12, Benue 11, Delta 7, while the Federal Capital Territory and Ogun State have 4 cases each. Kaduna has 2, while Gombe and Nasarawa recorded a single case each. Nigeria now has a total of 187,023 confirmed cases, out of which 168,455 were treated and discharged, while 2,268 have so far died of the virus. And it has been observed with dismay that the recommended COVID-19 precautions and guidelines are hardly adhered to by some Nigerians, thereby jeopardizing efforts of government to control the pandemic. To curtail the increasing cases of the Delta variant, stakeholders reiterate the need for renewed commitment by individuals to stay safe. Ifoma Ihoji completes the report.
Cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria have continued to increase by the day, thereby raising public health concerns and actions to start further spread. In Akwa Ibom State, for instance, the COVID-19 task force and incident management teams will not rest on their oars as deliberate efforts are invested to curb the pandemic.
We will not, in our management committee, allow somebody who has been tested positive to roam around. You go on immediate isolation. If you are symptomatic and you stay strong and you are not developing any symptoms yet, we isolate. You do self-quarantining. You have to quarantine yourself.
What then is responsible for the high figures of positive cases recorded in the state?
All those were tested positive. All will repeat the test until you turn negative. So in other words, you may see those numbers. One may be that some that we had to test 3 times.
Yeah, because you can't stop a market woman from going to market. You can't stop another woman from going to buy things in the market. It is difficult, but as much as possible, please, I think we should adhere to those simple measures.
However, recognizing the efficacy of vaccination to reduce the impact of any disease, including coronavirus, the state has rolled out vaccination programs at various primary health care centers and other designated places across Akwa Ibom. Dr. Emmanuel Ekoem advises citizens to report the slightest symptoms. In Uyo, Ifoma Ihuchi, NTA News.
And still talking about the Delta variant of the COVID-19, medical experts say the variant is more transmissible, and this is evident in the spike in COVID-19 cases in recent times. What is the level of awareness among the people? Are safety protocols still being observed? These are questions that Udwak Etin seeks to answer in the next report.
The Delta variant is currently the predominant strain of the virus around the globe, as it is highly contagious, and prevention strategies such as regular hand washing, wearing a face mask in public places, as well as observing other safety protocols are needed to reduce the transmission of the virus. But are people aware of the Delta variant strain of COVID-19, and how conscious are they to avoid being contracted?
I'm aware of Delta variant. And as you can see, I'm putting on my face mask, which is a way of preventing it. Yes, and I'm advising others too to put on their face mask, not to be infected.
I go to so many places and I see people without mask. Some people don't even wash their hands. A lot of people are not really they don't really care again.
For the Cross River State government, safety protocols and vaccines are playing crucial roles in limiting the spread of the virus, as the state is expecting the second dose of the COVID-19 vaccines. There is hope that when the vaccines arrive, residents will avail themselves for the vaccination.
We're calling on everybody to come out now. We have the Moderna vaccine and the Johnson & Johnson will be coming in soon. Pfizer vaccines will also be coming in, as well as the AstraZeneca. We ask that everyone should come forward, get vaccinated. If we can get at least 50% of our population vaccinated, then we should be sure that less people will die or come down with complications.
With increasing rates of the Delta variant strain in some states of the Federation, including Cross River State, in a recently released data by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, the Commissioner says measures are in place to curtail its spread, while urging all Nigerians to still strictly adhere to COVID-19 safety protocols.
To agriculture now, the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations is to train some pastoralists on better ways to detect and control rising cases of animal diseases in the country. Musa Baba Aliu has more.
West African countries, including Nigeria, are having high cases of zoonotic diseases in recent times. Diseases such as Ebola, Lassa, Marburg, and coronavirus. The Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations is of the view that strengthening the capacity of veterinary doctors towards early detection of diseases in animals will help in reducing the rate of zoonotic cases in West Africa.
Controlling these diseases and limiting their impact is determined by our ability as a nation to predict, detect, and respond in a timely manner.
To this end, the UN agency inaugurates an in-service applied veterinary epidemiology training program aimed at eliminating all related zoonotic diseases in Nigeria.
FAO supports Nigeria in strengthening the capacities of national and local partners in dealing with various animal diseases emergencies through prevention, detection, and response to zoonotic and non-zoonotic disease outbreaks at source. In helping to avoid national, regional, and global spread, the ECTAD program is critical in protecting people and animals from disease threats.
Representatives of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture believe that the Nigeria-FAO partnership will address the emergence and re-emergence of diseases of significant public health, such as avian influenza, African swine fever, among others. Musa Baba Aliu, NTA News.
And it's time to join Kendi in our Lagos Network Center. It's over to you.
Well, glad to have you join us in Lagos. The Central Bank of Nigeria is supposed to support the growth and development of Nigeria's macroeconomic sector. Acting Director of Communications, Central Bank of Nigeria, Osita Nwasubi, emphasized this during an interactive session with union leaders on the bank's 5-year policy thrust in Lagos. Abolade Salami completes the report.
The Central Bank of Nigeria 5 years policy trusts targets, among others, double-digit economic growth, increase in financial inclusion to 95% by 2024, and single-digit inflation. The Apex Bank laid a solid foundation for this policy in 2014 when it launched the Anchor Borrowers program as an intervention in the agricultural sector to boost local food production and grow dwindling economic performance following sharp decline in crude oil prices and the resultant decline in foreign exchange earnings.
And we believe that it is important that every Nigerian key into this reality that we need to grow our economy. It is not just about central bank, it's not even just about the government, it is about the Nigerian people. And we are believing that Labour, being a significant and important stakeholder group, will be able to take this message across to their people.
While efforts to develop the real economy through sound monetary policies seems to be enjoying the attention of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Labour leaders at this interactive session want the Apex Bank to engage more with the Nigerian workers and other stakeholders in order to forge a better understanding of its efforts in managing the Nigerian economy.
In Lagos State, let us begin to think of how we can add to the economy. We can arrange and organize ourselves. And that is what we have been thinking now. We say that for the 5-year policy trust of Central Bank, let us as workers be able to benefit.
There is no doubt that the request aligns with the objective of the CBN, as the Apex Bank announced plans to hold more interactive sessions with union leaders across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
Encouraged by the potential of the internet and its vast resources to deepen opportunities for growth of the digital economy in Nigeria, stakeholders in the ICT sector are advocating that equal access to internet be made a fundamental human right. Amaka Owo completes the report.
Because digital economy is worth over $180 billion, and Nigeria is said to have about 154 million internet users and 73% internet penetration in Africa. Experts here are demanding increase in digital literacy and adoption of homegrown solutions.
You can't take it away from the fact that we're a much larger country. There's a lot more people, a lot more to offer. So that's not going to take it away from us and the capacity we have. So we've got a lot of potential. We've got a lot of human capital, a lot of human intelligence here that would develop here and would keep up with what's going on in the world. So what you find is all the developments that's going on in the world, we're contributing our part, and I think that Nigeria will be more in the map.
Awareness is key, access is key. Then the third one is affordability. It has to be affordable. Now, yes, the services are available, but is it affordable? Now, people have complained about the cost of data in Nigeria, for instance, and have tried to see how the cost can come down.
Other issues bordering on multiple taxation, cybercrime, information overload, and internet addiction were also addressed.
We've had cases where negative things that happen in other parts of the world, people will put it and say it's happening within the country, happening now. And that has created some challenges in the past, but it's being addressed in the right quarter. So what we can simply do is to keep educating people.
Stakeholders encourage Nigerians to increase creative content on the internet beyond the volume of content they consume from other countries. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
You're still watching Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. Let's take a short break now. Nationwide continues with Amina in Kaduna afterwards.
President Engineer and Project Supervisor of the Second Niger Bridge Project. The Second Niger Bridge Project is a project that has been conceived for a very long time, but it has finally come to life during this present administration. This project has a lot of socio-economic benefits, and it has impacted positively on the lives of the host communities, both in Anambra State and Delta State. The people are very happy. The host communities, they partnered with us because apart from the social benefits, indigenes are also employed on this project. We can see how their lives are being improved.
This message is from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Admission forms into NTA Television College JOS 2021-2022 2-year National Innovation Diploma Program are on sale from 9th of August to 29th of October 2021. Candidates who wish to apply for admission must have 5 O-level credits in relevant subjects including English language and mathematics. The courses available for application include film and television production, broadcast journalism, and television engineering technology. The admission forms can be obtained at NTA Television College or any NTA station nationwide at the cost of 7,500 naira only. Payment for the form is through remitter platform only in favor of NTA Television College. For more inquiries, please call 0803-079-5335 or 0806-980-9807. Management Announcer. A new edition of TV Guide is out exclusively with Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau State.
Since assuming office, our rescue administration has pursued the path of peace and reconciliation and restored confidence among people of different ethnic, religious, and political persuasions. Peace is back on the plateau. We are building world-class infrastructure in roads and opening up opportunities for innovation.
The edition is a compelling mind-blowing stories for your reading pleasure, ranging from entertainment, economy, sports, media, politics, family, and lots more. Pick up a copy and keep abreast with issues and trending features within our space. TV Guide, very incisive, very educative and compelling. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or any NTA station nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
The courage of Flight Lieutenant Abayomi Dairo, aka the Aggressor, for his skillful and dogged escape from the bloodthirsty bandits in the forest of Zamfara State. 3 hearty cheers also to all military and security personnel who are tirelessly protecting fellow Nigerians from insurgency and banditry while maintaining peace and order. Nigerians are proud of Abayomi Dairo and all our gallant men and women in uniform for sacrificing so much to keep us safe. We admire your courage and we say thank you. God bless the armed forces. God bless Nigeria. This message is from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Welcome to Kaduna. The recent signing into law of the Petroleum Industry Bill by President Muhammadu Buhari will open vistas for economic emancipation, peace and prosperity through job creation to millions of Nigerians in critical sectors of national life. This is the position of National Coordinator Babu Buhari for All, Aminu Sani Jaji, while speaking on advantages of the Petroleum Industry Act to national development. Suleiman Abdullahi Ragachku reports.
Since the 1950s, in spite of contributing appreciable percentage to Nigeria's foreign reserve, the oil sector contributes only 10% to the country's gross domestic product. The negative effect of this is witnessed in continuous appreciation of foreign currency over the naira, hike in prices of goods and services, and dwindling productive capacity of critical sectors of national life. After 20 years, the 9th National Assembly passed the Petroleum Industry Bill PIB 2021, key objectives of which is to overhaul and transform the Nigerian oil and gas industry in line with global best practices. The Petroleum Industry Act National Coordinator Buhari for All, Aminu Sani Jaji, says will be a game changer in the oil and gas industry.
The act is only a person that has political will can stand and do it. So because President Buhari, he don't have any other interest, that is why he stand and do it the way it is. Therefore, if you have interest in any of the business, then now it is time for you to invest. So everybody can invest and everybody can participate and it's freely.
The Petroleum Industry Act, which provides legal, governance, regulatory and fiscal framework for the Nigerian petroleum industry and development of host communities through creation of commercially oriented National Petroleum Company, Aminu Sani Jaji says is done in good faith and in the best interest of Nigerians. Suleiman Abdullahi Ragachku, NTA News.
The Controller General of the Nigerian Immigration Service, Mohammed Babandede, has warned that the service has zero tolerance for corruption and will, in line with the anti-corruption policy of the present administration, not hesitate to dismiss any personnel found involved in any corruption act. The Controller General of Immigration stated this in a message to a sensitization workshop organized for officers and men of the Jigawa State Command of the service in Dusi. Hawa Haliru Haruna reports.
The 2021 nationwide Nigerian Immigration Service Servicom sensitization is to enlighten all security personnel, especially those at the immigration formation, on war against corruption. The theme for the workshop is Zero Tolerance Approach to Corruption, Pathway to Quality Service Delivery and Attitudinal Change. In a message, the immigration boss, Mohammed Babandede, warned officers and men to desist from collecting bribe or face severe sanction. The boss added that compromising security is an act of sabotage against the nation, and everyone, including public servants, are expected to be highly transparent in the pursuit of life and duties. The Comptroller of Immigration Service Jigawa State, Ismail Abba Aliyu, said the command has taken a step on change begins with me.
Whatever you are doing, you have to do more.
Service delivery insurance will serve our customer very well, especially now if somebody go to the passport office. When you go within the shortest time, you'll be captured, you'll be whatever, at least exiting.
Religious leaders, civil society organizations, and other concerned stakeholders at the event stressed on the slogan of Change Begins With Me.
We have to come together in order to produce a society that is free from corruption.
If we, all of us Nigerians, we will, adhere or obey the teachings of our books, religious books, honestly speaking, corruption will reduce drastically.
They commended the immigration boss for the initiative and urged other parastatals to emulate for a sanitized community devoid of corruption. Hawa Halar Haruna, NTA News.
And that's it from here. It's back to Hawa in Abuja.
Very well, Amina. Thank you. And in a bid to address recent challenges in airport operations and facilitate management systems, at the Murtala Mohammed Airport, Lagos, and the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, new check-in and screening equipment are being installed to enhance smooth operations. An additional 15 security screening machines are also being deployed to the General Aviation Terminal and the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. The Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAN, seeks the understanding of passengers and other stakeholders while speedy completion of the project takes place. Troops of the Multinational Joint Task Force, Sector 3, Mongonu, Borno State, on routine patrols along Gajiram have eliminated 4 Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists at the Gambari axis.
Multinational Joint Task Force MNJTF headquarters in N'Djamena, Chad, Colonel Mohammed Dole indicates that the terrorists were neutralized when they attempted to ambush the troops of the MNJTF. Colonel Dole notes that several arms and drugs were recovered from the criminals. In a related development, the commander, Multinational Joint Task Force, Major General Abdul Khalif Ibrahim, has stressed determination to ensure that remnants of terrorists are rooted out of the Lake Chad Basin. The commander was speaking while on operational visit to formations under his command. He was at the Forces Sector 3 headquarters in Mungunu, Borno State, Sector 1 in Marwa, Cameroon, and Sector 2 in Chad, where he was accompanied by principal staff officers from all the participating countries. Major General Ibrahim expressed renewed commitment to take the fight to the enclaves of terrorists to hasten the end of the conflict. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
And still on security matters, the Nigerian Police Force is partnering the Central Bank of Nigeria to build a national cybercrime center that will adequately respond to cybercrime threats in the country. To this end, the force is equipping cybersecurity workforce with requisite skills to protect the cyberspace from criminals. Francis Form completes the report.
The recent NSAS protest in the country has led to cyber threats and attacks on critical national infrastructure. The act clearly shows that no member of the global community is immune to technology-bound security breaches. This necessitated the capacity building and skills acquisition.
So with this training, we will leave this place a better and well-equipped trained personnel to be able to handle the emerging crime and the challenges we are facing in terms of handling cybercrime.
Cybercrime investigation is technical. You need the technical capacity to be able to know what to do and how to come about a logical conclusion in your investigation.
We're looking at a situation whereby at the end of the day, when we move to the new center, by the grace of God, we should be able to have the right professionals, the right experts to work with.
Inspector General of Police, represented by the DIG Criminal Investigations Department, says the establishment of National Cybersecurity Center will be a game changer in the fight against cyber-related crimes.
Upon completion, the Nigerian Police National Cybercrime Center will be a cybersecurity hub and first of its kind in sub-Saharan Africa.
The facility is designed to collect
analyze, and counter a variety of threats in the evolving threat space against the critical national infrastructure.
Participants at this 10-day cybersecurity training workshop are hoping for a better deal to confront these criminals. Frank Sesform, NTA News.
And in continuation of efforts to reduce insecurity, the Kebbi state government has fabricated armored personnel carriers to support military operations. The locally fabricated vehicles were carefully reinforced with bulletproof, capable of withstanding attacks during operations. Usman Abdullahi Shehu reports.
Has its own share of the banditry misfortune, bedeviling northwestern part of Nigeria, causing losses to many lives and property, and as well massive displacement to many families. The ugly development necessitated the unveiling of various strategies to tackle the challenge by those states in the front line, Kebbi State inclusive. Fabrication of a number of Toyota brand Land Cruiser Buffalo vehicles into armored personnel carriers for military operations is one of such efforts. Leading this initiative is the State Deputy Governor Colonel Samaila Yambedaba, a retired military officer.
Changing them from a civilian look to military look. As you may have seen, these vehicles were brought in this condition, and we carry out some fabrication to make them look military. Basically what we have done there is to provide a relatively adequate safety.
Colonel Yombe described Kebbi State as pace setter in the Creative Technology Initiative, aimed at advancing Nigeria's quest for technical innovations in the fight against banditry and other criminal activities. Commended Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu for supporting the project, adding that transportation remains a major requirement in the warfare. Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
Let's now head to Maiduguri, where Abubakar is on standby for more reports.
It's always good to see you, Hawa, and thank you for joining us in Maiduguri. Let's begin with health matters. Borno State government has received a consignment of over 66,000 doses of Moderna COVID-19 vaccines to curb spread of the virus across the state, courtesy of the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency. Due to the nature of the temperature in the region, which could be unfavorable for some vaccines, the epidemiology unit of the Borno State Primary Healthcare Development Agency is keeping the vaccines in good condition for the exercise that is ongoing. Jadwa John Jesney has an update.
Borno State had in March this year received 75,510 doses of Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine, where citizens that benefited were administered their first and second doses. This time, the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency has deployed 63,636 doses of Moderna COVID-19 vaccine to fight spread of the pandemic across Borno State. The Moderna COVID-19 vaccine has been medically proven to be highly effective in preventing COVID-19 across people of diverse age, sex, race, ethnicity, as well as people with underlying health conditions. Borno State Cold Chain Officer Tijani Nasuru said the Moderna vaccine is being kept in the ultra-cool chain facility as it requires storage conditions of -15 to -45 degrees Celsius.
We have an adequate storage for the vaccine, total vaccine given to us. This Moderna brought to us is for both first and second dose, and it will go around the percentage that are needed.
He further revealed that 8 out of 25 accessible local governments in Borno State have received their consignments of the vaccines.
For those 2 areas that are not accessible, there are people hanging who will send their vaccine there and they will be immunized there. If you received AstraZeneca earlier, you will not receive another vaccine unless AstraZeneca.
The coronavirus pandemic has been on the increase across the country, with some states recording their second and third waves of the infectious disease, in some cases the dreaded Delta variant. In Maiduguri, Jedua John Jesney, NTA News.
Away from health matters to focus attention on security now. Theater Commander Operation Hat in Kai, Major General Christopher Musa says security operatives in the Northeast will not rest on their oars until they win the war against Boko Haram insurgency and any other form of criminality in the region. He was speaking when he visited office of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, in Maiduguri. Mohammed Ibrahim completes the story.
Nigerian military forces have continued to battle the 12th year of Boko Haram insurgency and other forms of criminality, resulting to many insurgents now surrendering to security forces and reduction of criminal activities in Borno State. Collaborating with other security agencies as part of its mandate prompted this visit by the Theater Commander Operation Hadinkai to the Borno State Command of the NDLEA. Major General Christopher Mustafa highlighted recent mass surrender of Boko Haram terrorists.
We know what drugs does to individuals, and we know how it also enhances criminality. ISWAP is here to occupy our land, and which we will never accept. We'll ensure that those ones that are willing to surrender will surrender, and those ones that are unwilling will take the next line of action.
On his part, NDLEA Borno State Commandant Joseph Icha appreciated a visit by the Theater Commander, describing it as a step forward in the fight against terrorism and criminality.
Of recent, we have discovered that hard drugs is what generally motivates people to commit very violent crime. We have a facility for counseling and rehabilitation, and that those that are challenged with drug abuse should come forward and utilize this facility.
He notes that the command in the last 1 year has made seizures of over 16,000 kilograms of assorted hard drugs arrested in Maiduguri and Biu, and is determined to do more. In Maiduguri, Muhammad Ibrahim, NTA News.
It's now time to take another break on Nationwide, but Hawa in Abuja will be back with the next set of stories for us.
Youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth Entrepreneurship Support Years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
This present government has done a lot on the train modernization. They came in and completed the Abuja Kaduna, and we have 9 stations there, 5 stopping stations and 4 crossing stations, making 9. And when we started in 2016, we started with 2 trips, then we later moved on to 8 trips, and we are talking about moving to 14 trips a day, and we have been able to send 10 DMUs, 10 coaches, and 2 locomotives new. We have 12 stations on the Takbere line. It's about 312 kilometer length of track, and it's over 35 years old. And the government came and took it up, finished the track, built modern stationing, and the stations are finished. Working on the signaling. We all hope to start the commercial operation by the end of September.
We are StarTimes, the most affordable digital pay TV platform with the widest signal coverage in Nigeria, dedicated to bringing the best TV entertainment around the world to your screen. From Hollywood to Bollywood to Nollywood, we offer the most affordable subscription. Enjoy over 75 channels for as low as 1,700 naira, like Nat Geo Wild, BBC, ESPN, and premium sports like Emirates FA Cup, La Liga, Bundesliga, wrestling. What's more exciting? We have the most flexible payment options in Nigeria. Don't dull. Join us now for an exciting journey. StarTimes. Enjoy digital life.
We are all
Nigerians. Against all odds, we shall and must remain united. We may have our challenges, our problems, and setbacks. However, together we shall overcome them all. What doesn't break us shall make us stronger. This is the mindset that shall bring peace, progress, and prosperity to our beloved country. Do not let tribal and religious sentiments govern how you think, act, or feel. Don't be influenced by those who want to destroy our precious national unity. Everybody who's a Nigerian is your brother and your sister. This is the mindset of the new Nigeria. It is also the mindset that we must all adopt. Let us support each other in creating the Nigeria of our dreams. This message is from the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
Thanks for rejoining us. It's nationwide on the network service of the NTA. The need for the continuous central collection of tax, value-added tax through the Federal Inland Revenue Service has again re-echoed on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria. Tax experts say the discussion should be on how to raise the bar on derivations for a justified sharing policy that will address emerging concerns. Lydia Sampson has that.
Contention on the power to impose and collect taxes in Nigeria has become more complicated, with the Rivers State government signing into law its own VAT Act. This, Gaston Good Morning Nigeria reiterates, is because the Constitution, as drafted, has a lacuna on value-added tax. Also, it was never anticipated that VAT and transactional taxes can be a huge source of revenue. Gaston Good Morning Nigeria decried the implication of the said Rivers State Act on taxpayers who are at the receiving end.
You first pay for VAT in the process of your services or in manufacturing. So what you pay to the suppliers of your work, raw materials is called input VAT. And then when you now finish your production and you sell, what you collect is called output VAT. And then you're supposed to, based on the system, based on the law, you're supposed to deduct your output VAT from your input VAT first, from your output VAT, and then you remit the difference.
Some of the guests are of the view that the complexity of VAT collection, which usually involves international trade engagements, cannot be left to the states, while others called for the placement of value-added tax on concurrent lists, giving both the federal and states rights to a delineated VAT collection.
So I believe that the equity should make it in a way that VAT administration or VAT as an act should be placed under a concurrent list. Concurrent list in the sense that certain areas will be allowed for federal to collect, while certain areas will be allowed for state to collect, just as you have in stamp duties today. In stamp duties, state collects stamp duties, federal government collects stamp duties. But federal government collects stamp duties with respect to companies, while state collects stamp duties with respect to individuals.
The focus should start shifting to who benefits from the amount we've collected. Imagine a model that allows whatever we collect from every state, less cost of collection, goes to that state, such that the amount we are sharing as VAT is only limited to the amount on international transaction through the border and foreign non-import services.
They, however, called for continuous engagement to arrive at workable solutions in boosting tax benefits and collection in Nigeria. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
And Nigeria is making significant headway in the quest to achieving a digital Nigeria, especially with the positive impact digital innovation has on the nation's economy. The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Issa Ali Pantami, said this at the book launch titled Digital Innovation for Economic Prosperity in Nigeria by Iene Ibanga. ICT correspondent Joseph Johnson reports that the book explores the way in which the country deploys technology in providing solutions to economic challenges.
A light bulb adorns the front page of the book Digital Innovation for Economic Prosperity in Nigeria, which symbolizes the role the ICT sector plays in shifting from the traditional economy into a digitalized one. Described as an insightful literary piece by many here, the 213-page book is a collection of weekly articles with focus on the sector.
The future, particularly in digital innovation, digital entrepreneurship, digital economy, and digital technology is very bright. Within 2 years, the sector remitted over 1 trillion naira for the federal government of Nigeria.
We have so many initiatives we executed, and based on what I hear, the feedback and this book, it shows that people are appreciating what we are doing. And also the media is doing an excellent job in promoting what we do, because without you, there is no way the people will know what we do.
Basically, when you look at the book, it covers almost all sectors within the digital economy.
Digital technology or innovation in digital technology is the best way for Nigeria to go.
The book presentation, which commemorates the 2 years in office of the Minister and Director General of NITDA, also afforded the stakeholders the opportunity to deliberate on new ways to move the sector forward. Joseph Johnson, NTA News.
What could make a man be so patriotic to his country despite going through 2 horrible experiences which are ordinarily supposed to discourage him? Oinaya Kaluoka in the next report takes us on a journey to a man who believes in supporting government's efforts in repositioning the country despite all odds.
In Nigeria, it is common to hear people complain in local palace, waiting this government they do for me self. This is to say, what has this government done for me? Forgetting that everyone has a part to play in bringing about development in their own little way. This brings us to the story of a man who has given it all, so to say, in his own little capacity in making sure Nigeria gets better. It is a continuous hard hit under the scorching sun. 65-year-old Daniel Davo from Plateau State voluntarily repairing a section of the road at the police checkpoint in Jikoyi in the FCT.
For this patriotic Nigeria, repairing the roads is his passion. He works 15 hours daily, 6 days a week, repairing community and federal roads in the FCT.
And it's amazing what I see him doing. I wish all Nigerians, or majority of 50% of Nigerians, can do what he's doing.
With soil he gets from a dump site, stones he breaks from rocks, he conveyed the materials in his old rickety car. Getting to speak with him at the site was not possible. He's shy and uncomfortable with the camera. Had to convince him, and he eventually agreed, but the interview had to be done in his house. Daniel Davo was a casual staff of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, in the 80s. Disengaged after 5 years of service, he went into commercial driving, and that was how his interest of repairing roads came about.
Where the government cannot reach, I say, let me touch that area.
He has repaired about 3,000 potholes with his substandard tools.
Some of our community road, he has been the one without being paid him. He has been the one repairing it.
He work at everywhere. Any road that he notices that the road no good, he do come there and do the road.
In 2020, he was involved in an accident with his car, which got damaged beyond repairs. To keep up with this art, he rents a car for a token.
And funny enough, everybody saw this man in a ditch with the stones at the back of the car that he wanted to use to go and repair a particular road. Nobody stopped to say, this is the man that repairs our road. What happened? What can we do for you?
10 years ago, he lost his pregnant wife, who was attacked by criminals. Early morning, who monitored his movement when he left his isolated home to fill up the potholes before traffic would build up. Now remarried with 5 children, he has been able to train some of them to higher institution through the little money he makes from farming.
He has fear of God. Someday I know that he's going to enjoy the fruit of his labor.
If the government can have mercy and help me with these children, if they can give them job, so that if I getting old completely, it is the children that will help me and give me something. That is what I'm begging the government to help me.
How long does he hope to continue with this voluntary service?
I'll try my best. If somebody can volunteer, come, let's join together and make Nigeria great.
His love for the country, the peace and love he gets from his family, he says, encourages him to do more and more.
A very encouraging story of putting Nigeria first there. Thank you very much, Oyinaya. Moving on, Koma is a unique settlement in Adamawa State discovered in the early 80s. Abdullahi Mohammed, just back from Koma community in Jada local government area of Adamawa State, has this package.
In 1985, that newspapers across the country carried stories about the discovery of the people of Koma who live up this mountain. And some people say that the story of Koma was never a discovery. That's left for pundits in that area. But our main objective now is to go up there and find out how much has civilization affected these people.
A gaze upon the mountain far away gives you an impression of an easy climb, especially for the NTA crew taking on Sukur Mountain in Madagali, Adamawa State days before. But this is not for the faint-hearted.
Here we are again climbing the Koma mountain, but this one is in the middle of the night. In fact, we're not halfway, but it is very tedious. If I want to compare it with the Sukru mountain that we climbed, definitely this one is more tedious because the stones here are scattered. You just have to struggle, and it is also in the night you have to struggle to find out where you put your first step and then the next step.
With calls for break, the cool spring waters of the mountain dousing the stress, we made it to the village of Gajikoma late in the night. But when the sun rises, we were amazed with what nature has chosen to give the people of Koma. Fresh food from plantation crisscrossing the village, as well as farms on the slopes of the mountain. The population shrinks, and so their taste for their cultural heritage. Only the older women keep some aspect of the culture. The head of the community pleads for clothing.
Some of our parents still wear clothes without shirts.
Today we're opening up the place, the entire area, not only Koma, but if you check out the level of infrastructure and the imprint that this administration under the leadership of Right Honorable Abad Infantry has been able to achieve there is much. We have opened up the rural access road to the area, to parts of the area, not strictly Koma.
The encroachment of civilization taking its toll on the people. It's not the season for ceremonies, but the kids in Koma have a way of celebrating visitors. Heading down the mountain was easier, but looking back at the beautiful things we left behind, it's a pain nursed only within.
And sports is next with Amanzi Marcus.
Nigeria's ambassador to Japan, Mohamed Hussein, has charged Team Nigeria at the Tokyo 2020 Paralympics to be good ambassadors of Nigeria and compete clean. He was speaking during